Hi guys, this is Rachel Kirkland, the Modern Shaman, and thanks for joining me for question and answer time with the Modern Shaman. I'm going to take a second and read a question that was sent to me, but before I do, I just want to say if you're new to me, please feel free to check out my website. It's themodernshaman.net. And also feel free to send in your questions for these. And if you do like these kind of question and answer format type of videos, I do live feeds on Sundays at noon Central Standard Time on my Facebook page, which is just Rachel Kirkland. And we do this. We answer questions. You guys send them in, and I'm just live talking like this. And there's a great kind of synergy there of all the people that are online and answering each other even, and kind of the feedback back and forth. It's phenomenal. So feel free to join us there. Again, it's noon on Sunday Central Standard Time because I am in Texas. So whatever time that is for you, you're welcome to join us. Okay, enough of that. Let's jump into the question for this video. Okay, so she sent me this question on Messenger, and there's a little bit of like a story to the beginning of it, so I'm not going to read her story, but basically she was talking about a time that she met with a healer or psychic in France, and he was telling her that many old forms of healing, for instance Reiki, acupuncture, reflexology, etc., are now old, and it's time for new forms of healing to come in. She said, I think I know what he meant, but could you give some more insight into this? How will we be able to heal each other and ourselves in the future? So the future of healing, that's kind of the topic that we'll go into today. Okay, and I'm going to take a second, center into myself, and just ask Spirit to come in and speak from my highest vibrational place. Because this is about the future, I'm going to take a second to kind of look into the future and maybe different timelines and tell you what I see in regards to healing. So just look at that really quick. Okay. Okay, so depending on how far in the future you want me to discuss, maybe I'll hit various things. Okay, so the first thing that I saw, which is just, I think we would all kind of be in agreement with this, but essentially further down the pipeline, we are at such a higher vibrational space that literally illness and disease is not capable of being sustained in the physical body. Now, this is a place where we are more so living from our light body, our rainbow body, our higher density, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh density bodies, which the timeline is a lot longer. They have less density within the matter. And so just in terms of the biology of it, literally like the molecular structure of our being is less capable of holding disease, of disharmony in the frequencies within the body. So in that state, we don't really get sick. And if we do, it's just a restructuring of our light body, of our alignment, our vibration, our frequency that we're emitting in order to align with whatever we're trying to connect with. We're aware of it. So that's further down the pipeline. A little more relevant, a little more relevant, sorry, I'm looking at your question, is not too far away, and we're capable of doing this now, we're just not doing it on a mainstream scale. Is using our technology to integrate with our biology, making our lifespans longer, just healing, and not what we would consider medicine, and not necessarily that we're becoming like what do you call that, half like robot, half, not that we have these like, I can't think of that name. I want to say clone, but it's not clone. But anyways, you know what I'm talking about. Cyborg. That's what I was looking for. Not that we turn into some cyborg, but that our medicines and our technology is so aware of what's already going on in our body and how our body works that they're able to utilize all of the languaging and the built-in sustainable body structure and the regenerative capabilities of our own body. So our human bodies were created to last a lot longer than we use them. Our DNA, we're just now learning how to read that language of what our DNA tells us and how to glean information from what's in there. We are a biological computer in a lot of ways, and our brain sending the synapses, sending those information throughout the body, telling the body what to do. Once we get to this place where we're able to utilize our body in the fullness of its capabilities and our neurological function in order to sustain our physical bodies, they'll be so integrated. Like the technology will not seem like something separate from our physical biology. So it'll be more like an understanding of how our body works and how to regenerate our own cells, how to sustain our own bodies and our own length of life and this type of thing. I do see that this is happening, that people are experimenting with this in different places around the globe, but it's not largely open to the public yet, and I think that will take a few generations, but we're on our way there for sure. I know that may sound sci-fi, but it's really not. Again, this is how our bodies are actually created to function. We've just activated certain strands of our DNA that shorten our lifetime and enable certain disease to be sustained in the body. But once we're aware of, what our DNA, like the language of it, what it's showing us, how to read the computer, so to speak, then we'll be able to utilize it. So just with our neurological function, just by thinking, just by activating certain aspects of our body, just like when my body right now is sending, is using the synapses and connecting and sending information through this, electromagnetic frequencies in our body that are just as our heart pumps, we're an electrical system, and it sends those electrical pulses all the way through the body and the nervous system and all of this. So we're sending out this information, we're telling our body to move, we're telling it what to do, and it feels very integrated into our body. I don't have to think about like moving my arms. I mean, I could if I wanted to learn some fancy new like dance move or something, but for the most part, it's very integrated, and that's how I see healing in the future. It's very integrated, and just we notice ourselves out of alignment and we reintegrate or realign. And we utilize our own biological created ability to do so. In the meantime, like right now, what we're doing that's kind of not necessarily a new form of healing, because I don't really think that anything's new under the sun, to quote the Bible there, but that we are eternal and have been and infinite, and so things work in cycles. And so to say like a new form of technology, I don't necessarily feel like it's new. It may be new to us on this 3D earth plane in our written history right now. And a lot of what I see that's very relevant, at least for me as a healer, is more healing that's done on higher vibrational levels, like etheric healing and pranic healing, energy-based healing. Reiki is kind of like that, but more like psychic surgery and etheric surgery, and going in and moving body parts around, surgically changing things in terms of light, using light to have, to cut into the body, and doing this in a more multi-dimensional, higher level, higher vibrational, dimensional space, and then it trickles down into our 3D physical body, because it takes form and is accepted from your higher vibrational state, from your higher self and the fullness of that body. Once it's fully accepted, it slowly trickles down into this body. I do this type of healing. Some people do this innately also, and I feel like this has been done throughout the ages, no matter what they labeled it like. But we are more and more capable of aligning with our higher self now, just where we are in terms of our ascension and our light bodies, and people being in alignment more so with their own higher self. So this form of healing is more effective than it has been in a long time, and we're more receptive to receiving those codes and those regeneration and the surgeries that are happening at that level to actually form and take manifested effect into our physical body. Hope that made sense. I feel like I'm talking esoteric, but it's not esoteric. It's very physical. I mean, when I'm doing psychic surgery, I'm in my zone and concentrating on someone and seeing their etheric body, and I'm like putting my hands in and moving and doing all this stuff, and I'm like doing it with my physical hands. If you were to look at me, you'd be like, what in the heck is that girl doing? Because I'm just like doing it. I'm in this zone, and I'm very focused and precise with what I'm doing, but it's being very channeled. And you can ask my clients. It's been very effective. And I feel like anyone can do this. I'm not saying that I'm the only one that can do this. I'm just saying this modality, I see is happening more and more in terms of its effectiveness, because people are more in alignment with their higher vibrational self, and therefore are able to receive this type of healing and have effect by healing on a higher dimensional space. Again, that trickles down into this one. And that healing looks different. I see different things for different people when I'm channeling it and doing it differently. Sometimes it includes vibration and hitting certain things like my drum, or hitting certain crystals. Sometimes the vibration of crystals, like I'm supposed to smack them together. Sometimes it's pulling energies out, sucking things out, blowing them out, moving things around, like I said, different organs and different energetic bodies, and shifting them. And sometimes it's magnetic. A lot of times it's magnetic, like putting my hands in and magnetic and pulling stuff, the frequencies to my hands when I'm visualizing being inside their body. And yeah, maybe that sounds crazy, but it's very channeled healing, and it's effective for those who are in alignment with it. So I hope I answered your question. That was a fun one. Love you guys. Blessings.